Today we have a very special video indeed, revisiting F1 2017, the game that allowed me to become a world champion. If you can't tell by the look on my face, I am so excited to get back on this game and to be down memory lane. So, with no wasted time, let's get on the grid and straight into the action. Nostalgia is clicking back into the body. Feels very strange to be back on 2017 Abu Dhabi in my old Toro Rosso from the World Championship winning race. This is a setup that we're going to be using for today's video and how setups look like back in the day as well. A lot of setup progression since back then, a lot of game progression, but one thing is the same. It's going to be 5 red lights that are going to be determining us getting underway. And what a feeling this is. Driving my old car, my first car from F1 Esports, it was called back then. As well, a little funny little feature is equal cars were not a thing back then in GP mode, as we almost slam into the back of Lance Stroll, Alonso and Kvyat. That's not a name I've seen in Formula 1 for a little while. As we're trying to get underneath the AI right now. So, we are in a realistic performance Toro Rosso, and we are going to be trying to make our way up the grid here. Just picking our way off the AI at the moment. Of course, we did not have the overtake button available to us back in the day. It was literally just fuel mixes, brake bias, differentials, as well adjusting the front wing on the fly if you wanted to for the pit stop. A bit brave down the inside of Felipe Massa. Bit of contact, but rubbing is racing, my friend. And we've been able to go back up into P10. Might be speaking too soon. That straight line speed of that Williams is looking very, very punchy. A bit of contact in the breaker zone, forgetting how wide the car is actually on the 2017 game. I had a few laps to warm up in time trial before doing this, trying to dial in my force feedback settings as well. And it's just strange. It's just strange being back on an old Formula 1 game like this. And something that I've noticed a lot, in fact, from starting off playing F1 24 at the start of the series, well, of course, actually starting on F1 23, but F1 24 is the current game until Tuesday, and then F1 25 takes over the ranks, of course. But just feeling the progression of the handling model backwards, I feel like it's quite easy to kind of forget how the game was. At least for me, it's quite easy to forget how the game was oh so many years ago and how it was feeling back then. But even as I got to around the 2019, the 2018 game time, I really just started to feel a big difference as we got a big tank slapper there on the curbing. DRS is not going to be enabled. Have to get my fuel mixes right. At the moment, I keep them going down to lean rather than rich mix. I'd like it if my MFD could stay up on the screen as well, as Massa's go down the inside of us, but we're going to hang it around the outside of him. Short shift to 4 for the traction. Short shifting, I do remember, was quite prominent in this year's game, as now as well. You don't see the thing on the top left-hand side of the screen to see your exact gaps as they progress over the sector times. You only get like 3 indications per lap, of course, end of sector 1, sector 2, sector 3 as well. And just struggling with the rear of the car. Much like F1 2018, if you watch that video as well, the rear is quite affected by the downshifting. So if you decide to go down to 3rd or go drop a gear in the middle of the corner as K-Mag is out of the race, it does add a lot of rotation to the car, and my MFD has disappeared again. Please stay up. I don't think it is going to be staying up, to be honest, for the rest of the race. I think I will have to manually keep on adding it. But yeah, smoothness is key. Smoothness is absolutely critical for this year's game. Actually, what I would say is F1 24 was probably the first F1 game in a very long time, at least since 2017, that you didn't have to be smooth on the steering wheel to be quick. Has had a little voice crack there, probably. As now we're going to try and get a bit of a switch back on Nico Hulkenberg And now we're getting the hang of the fuel mixes and really getting it in a good way. DRS is going to be activated as well. That blinking red light normally indicates that the ERS harvesting has begun, but to be honest, I don't really think it was their thing. Back on 2017, it was just invisible. I literally don't think there was any harvesting or whatever, so the rain light means nothing. Although in the modern Formula 1 games, the rain light means a lot. It just is coming on at random points in the straight, but that's... As we get told very quietly by the engineer, there's Kvyat, our teammate, has a mechanical problem, but to be honest, we don't really care. As we're trying to be all over the back of Nico Hulkenberg. Something I remember from the 2017 Grand Finale all the way over in Abu Dhabi. So we're trying not to run into the back of Hulkenberg there. Had a feeling that it was going to break early. Luckily was able to act on it and preserve not getting damage. It's just the overriding sort of sensation of coming to a Formula 1 track for the very first time. In fact, it was also my first ever time out of the UK. Until a week before the Grand Finale in Abu Dhabi, of course, I didn't even have a passport. Literally, I got through in the semi-final in London and then realised, okay, now I need a passport to go to Abu Dhabi. Booked in for the appointment and the interview questions, etc. As I understand, quite wide here, please don't be a warning. Thankfully it's not. And then yeah, got my passport. It arrived 1 week before flying to Abu Dhabi. Got on the flight. First ever flight I was on in my life, in fact. And then yeah, lovely jubbly. Was able to pick up the first World Championship over in Abu Dhabi. Of course, there was a lot more complexity between that point and the final lap, the final corner. I think one of my biggest regrets, actually, trying to find a way past this AI. Going to try and do a switch back here to get good traction onto the straight. I think one of my biggest regrets, actually, from that time in Abu Dhabi 2017, I had way too many cookies and way too many brownies for lunch on the final day. And I remember that I was really lucky. I was really fortunate. The team I was part of at the time sent me out because it was an individual competition. The F1 teams were not officially linked with F1 Esports back then. They only started in 2018. So I was really lucky that we had two people come out from the agency I was with called AJ and Simon. And I was just like this kid in Abu Dhabi. Just, you know, just trying to survive, basically. And I had way too many brownies, way too many cookies for lunch. And they sort of said to me, like, "No, Brennan, you're going to feel sick, you're going to feel terrible." But in my mind, I was like, it's a buffet. There's brownies and cookies. Why would I not have them, you know? Typically, they were right in that situation. I felt terrible later because my body was just overridden by sugar and everything like that. So that was just a funny memory that always comes back to mind, is that seeing that buffet and seeing unlimited desserts, and I was like, oh yes please, as actually, yes please, Hulkenberg has lost DRS to the cars ahead, the 2 racing points. I believe it was called racing points. Hulkenberg goes down the inside of us after leaving the space. There's a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. Luckily nothing serious. We won't have DRS need to get the rich mix going here. And now looking behind us, he's going to have quite a bit of straight line speed advantage. But luckily, maybe he won't be able to do anything into the corner. Luckily not able to brake late enough to fend him off. He didn't really go for the move anyway, but just was able to have enough ground. And now got to set our focus on Ocon and Perez up ahead. What? Ironically, well, I don't think ironically is the right word, but in a nice way, ironic that they're ahead of us right now, I guess. But Racing Point were actually quite linked to the series in 2017. Not officially, but the sponsor, I think it was Hype Energy back then, if I do get the name correct. They invited some content creators like Tio Marduk, Ben Daly, of course, to do like a Q&A with the F1 drivers. So it was completely unrelated to the fact that F1 Esports was happening that weekend. It just so happened that they invited out the content creators to do an interview. So it was also very nice to have F1 YouTube content creators at that weekend with F1 Esports the first time of it ever happening as well. So that was a very like nice addition on top of everything, like the cherry on top of the cake, you know, because I grew up and I had like my idols when I was watching YouTube. I had Ben Daly, but especially Alex Gillum. Alex Gillum and a guy called Exonage, as Vettel is out of the race, it seems. Unlucky Sunshine, thank you for your position. Are we pulling away from Hulkenberg? We are. Lovely jubbly. So yeah, I had like the people who really got me into competitive racing back in the day of Alex Gillum, Exonage. I won't say his real name on the camera. I think if you know, you know. But he seemed to disappear from the face of the internet, in all honesty. So he's probably just living his normal life. So I won't say his real name, just out of respect for the fact that maybe he doesn't want people to know his real name. But yeah, really, those were the people that got me into competitive racing all the way back in 2013, 2014. 2014 was my first game doing competitive racing, as we're going to be looking to make a pit stop on this lap here, and we're going to be following in Sergio Perez. Nice pit entry, actually. Was able to rotate the car nicely, get the car slowed down, and we don't have to do anything on this year's game. So I'm going to have a chocolate button. I've got some dairy milk buttons, orange flavour. So I'm going to have one of those. Oh, we got hell. Anyway. Oh, you got ahead of Perez. That's nice. So yeah, it was really nice to sort of see Alex Gillum, Exonage there, as well as so many other content creators. Of course, Codemasters, because of course EA didn't own the company of Codemasters back then. They were standalone, at least if my information is correct about that. And yeah, it was just a very, very nice moment in my life, and something I take very fond memories of. I don't take fond memories of that exit though. And yeah, I still have the trophy behind me, actually, from the 2017 championship. And yeah, Ben Daly, Timo Marduk has a really, really nice vlog up of that whole weekend on YouTube. So there's like Fizzy Fan, who was like the guy who was one of the lead people to make league racing back in the day a thing. What I think ultimately set up the structure for F1 esports to happen in the first place, by having such a competitive scene. Ironic that I speak about competitive scenes and do a biggest lockup of my life. Yeah, Fizzy Fan was one of the original goats that set up like league racing back in the day. Like, I think it really made the foundations for the drivers to be good on F1 esports, and to make it a really competitive series already in 2017. And it was quite unique in 2017 in many ways as well. A teammate in the pits, don't care. Because yeah, it attracted a lot of people from other games, like iRacing, etc. One name that really comes to mind is Max Baneke, if I do say the last name correctly. He was a really nice guy, honestly. He was really respectful, really lovely. I have a lot of time for him, and I see that he's done quite well on Rennsport overall. So it's really cool to see for him. But yeah, like, he was a titan. He still is, in my opinion. He was a titan of sim racing back in the day, and then to see him come over to do F1 esports was really cool. And being able to share the grid with so many sim racing legends, Ollie Pakula, Graham Carroll, because back in the day, Team Redline was, well, still is with Max Verstappen running the show over there, and putting a lot of support behind the team. But especially back then, Redline, they were the place to be, and to see a few of their drivers in F1 sim racing, getting to meet even the owner of Team Redline back then, that was really cool. Again, I won't say the name just in case he doesn't want to be on the video. But yeah, just a lot of positive memories, and it all comes flying back driving the game. And these have been the quickest 8 laps, well 9 laps of my life. In all honesty, I think I probably haven't stopped talking for like 6 of them. And we are going to extend the track here. Got my ERS mode, my fuel map mode wrong there. But yeah, I probably haven't stopped speaking for like 6 laps there. But yeah, just having a cool time, enjoying. And regardless of what happens in life, and this is something that I'm really lucky with. Regardless of what happens in life, I can always be proud of this year. I can always be proud of the development, the stuff that happened behind the scenes that I'm fully yet to say. When the time is right, I will. But yeah, just some personal issues behind the scene, and really, oh, that's a big swing setup. Really getting the championship gave me an opportunity in life to do something I loved, whereas before I was really stuck in a rut, in all honesty, in life. Wasn't very happy, wasn't really sure what to do with life in general, and yeah, I was really fortunate that the championship came along at the certain time it did, gave me the opportunities that it did, yeah, but whatever happens in life, it will always be... I've got 2 warnings on this lap. Anyway, back to the point. Because I was having a moment there. I was having a moment anyway. Because I'm speaking to myself at the moment. But yeah, it will always be a core memory for me, and will always be my foundation to the brain, and something I can reflect back on. As, don't get another warning, we are maybe just getting close enough to the DLS of Sergio Perez, but we have to be very careful with the corner cut warnings, because one more and we will have a penalty. We're probably in the DRS now. Should be anyway. 1.2 extra laps of fuel. Indeed, we are in the DRS. That is simply lovely. But we are not gaining anything on the straight, because the AI are much lower wing than we are. We're pretty high on the wing. Another memory I actually have with this game is after F1 Esports, in honesty, because then back in the day it was called AOR. Again, what Fizzy Fan was setting up a lot. Pick lock up. And then because people realised that there was an opportunity within the F1 game series to go full-time, become professional, AOR ended up with a flood of really talented drivers, really pushing the limits to become better. And yeah, so like after the series had even finished in 2017, and the gap between the 2017 esports series finishing and the 2018 game coming out, it was a really cool time that you had a lot of passionate people. There still are passionate people, but it was a different kind of passionate, hopeful, enthusiastic in a different way, trying to be ready to pounce on the opportunity of F1 esports. Of course, now it's called F1 Sim Racing. Back in the day, it was called F1 Esports. And they were pushing week in, week out, racing on Sunday nights. I remember that. That was such a staple of my week. Racing on Sunday nights. I was driving the Mercedes after that, because of course, I was able to sign for Mercedes after the 2017 Grand Finale. That was my first ever professional contract. And I still remember signing it exactly where I sat, where I signed it. Yeah. Yeah, as we're going to go past Esteban Ocon, who's also a legend himself as well. Esteban's going to go back down the inside of us. That's not very lovely for us. And we've got a big old gap to Max Verstappen ahead. But we're probably going to get a bit of a battle here with Ocon going into the corner. And let's see. We'll go defend. Oh, he's late on the brakes. That's cool. I mean, we're able to cover off the corner and keep it in line, but that's pretty cool that the AI had so much fight in them there to go deep on the brakes around the outside. Oh my word. The race leader, I presume, is Lewis Hamilton. And I can't move the minimap like modern Formula 1 games, unfortunately, so you can't see all the minimap. But he is already at the start of Sector 2. Bro is cooking. we need to be cooking as well. But yeah, this game is really just enjoyable to drive. It took a little while to set up, because at the moment I'm on a SimiCube. Was a fantastic wheelbase, by the way, and it's really cool because you have a lot of adjustability within the wheelbase settings. So although like this wheel was nowhere near even being out when this game was released, so like the firmware, drivers, etc. are completely out of line. But because you have so much adjustability, it's really nice actually that I could set up the force feedback to be feeling quite decent, to be feeling quite good, and to be enjoyable when driving the game. And that's helping me smile quite a lot when driving it. Like I say, well, okay, that line doesn't work. That's a line we do in modern F1 sim racing, of breaking over the curb, but clearly didn't work on this instance. Ocon is still behind us. But yeah, like I say, I've talked so much in this video. Not even about commentary, just enjoying it, you know. And this video is being filmed on Sunday night. This is going to go out Monday evening. One day ahead of the F125 launch. And it feels very fitting to me. It feels very fitting indeed that my final day before F125 is going to be on the game that kick-started my career in terms of competitive racing. And after Monday, F125 will be my first game that I'm pushing to be a full-time content creator. So it feels very fitting to me that the final day before the switch to becoming, or trying to become, a full-time content creator, because I'm not there at the moment. I would love to be, and I'm pushing as hard as I can to be. But my final day, or my final, let's say, time before going to a game and looking at it like full-time content creator, or trying to be at least, is on the game that kick-started everything for me. Absolutely everything. Wow, wow, wow. Also, a cool little thing I have. Oh, that's a wall. I should have been paying attention. I have assigned memorabilia from everyone at Codemasters for the 2017. Okay, we tried the curve again. It was a bit better. How do we not get damage from the wall then? Yeah, I have assigned memorabilia. So, for both the championships that I won in 2017 and 2018, I was really fortunate that I could ask Codemasters to sign a steelbook cover of the game. Oh, it's Sebastian Vettel leading the race. My apologies. I could get them, or ask them to sign the steelbook cover of the game, and luckily they did. So I have, that's something I'll keep for life. Oh, Lewis Hamilton's doing faster than that, but he's not leading the race. We need to lock in. We need to lock in. We need to stop taking game covers, hitting walls on the straight. But now, we've got enough fuel. I think we'll leave it in rich mix for the rest of the final lap, as we're going to be fighting to try and keep it P6. We're 1 second off our fastest lap of the race. Maybe with a good time we can do a new PB of the race. That was nice from turn 1. Just about keeping it flat. Nope, couldn't keep it completely flat. A little lift. Building up the gap. New PB sector 1. Be conservative with the curbing. And now pretty tight on the inside curbing. Probably not ideal. Might have broken DRS to Esteban Ocon though. What means we can focus on our lap time without needing to fight. Yeah, Ocon didn't have DRS to us that time round. Not using the curb. Good precision though, using up this curb. As you can attack the curbs quite a lot on Abu Dhabi this game. Until 2019 actually. 2018 you could attack the curbs quite a lot as well. Oh, it's very close with our lap times. Good final sector here. And we could do a new PB of the race. Oh, it was Hamilton who won the race. I'd be confused. Try and get over these curves as much as possible. Really hard to do so though. Come on. And 2 gears. Come on, into the corner. Oh, we're wide. Can it be? Oh, it wasn't. Oh, we lost so much time in the final sector, but that was a blast. That was so cool. That was so cool. Oh, look at Toto.
Fantastic victory for the
So yeah, what a blast from the past. I'm I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that quite a lot. A little trip down memory lane. I think I talked a lot in that video. I talked a lot in that time. This is what I was talking about earlier on the straight. I think I can show it a bit better now when I'm not driving. So basically you can see Codemasters signed the steelbook for me, and they said congratulations for winning the 2017 championship. And you know what? That's been kept in bubble wrap for so long, and it's been looked after with extreme care. The same as the 2017 championship. It's a bit old now. It's been through a few battles with aging. But yeah, not much I can do about that. Maybe there is. Maybe I should look after it and try some different like cleaning solutions on it. But anyway, I'm getting really away from the point at the moment. Thank you so much for watching this series. Thank you so much for the support of my career. Because yeah, it feels really, really like a nice moment, you know, to be ending right now before going into F1 25. What kickstarted my professional career within F1 esports is also the final game I'll play before F1 25, you know, the final video I'll do. So I'm looking forward to this next journey. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and yeah, big up 2017. I've been Brendan Lee, and I will catch you in F1 25. Grazie Vazazzi, ciao ciao, bye bye.